Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. Just as you can see from the title, I'm going to give a quick talk through some of the gloves I've worn for the 2018 season, the second half. But anyway, just going to go through each one, tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, what I change, what I hope to change in the next range of them. So as usual, any questions, pop them down in the comments. I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. So let's get straight into it anyway. I'm going to start at the top left with my Nikes. Nikes are gloves I don't typically buy a lot of, mainly because I find the designs of them a bit lazy, but I got some good deals on them this year, so I found them tough to turn down. I've had three pairs and one, the standard VG3 with the updated cut on it this year. It doesn't wrap all the way around to the back end. That's just the standard retail version. And I have two pairs of the negative cut reverse stitches, and I call it promos. I actually really like them. I haven't actually worn the yellow ones as of yet, but the grip is just insane on them. Really like them. And I've worn these, the blue ones here with the black latex. I'm not typically a fan of dark coloured gloves or black latexes. I don't know why, it just doesn't kind of suit my eye when I'm looking at them, but I can't argue with the performance. One thing I will say is if you are a keeper who likes to get a lot of longevity out of their gloves, these probably aren't the ones for you. I've only worn these 3 times now, and the grip it's not gone, but you can tell that it's deteriorating quite quickly. But I do really like them. I'm okay with getting 4 or 5 uses out of my gloves. As you can see, I'm okay with buying a lot of them. Uh, One thing I will say, the fit on these was good. If it fit me, but I found the thumb to be too long when I was wearing the gloves. My thumb only comes to about there on them. I'm typically a size 9. I probably could have got away with dropping to an 8.5. I absolutely had to, but other than that, I couldn't really complain. With all of them, I got the promo gloves for €55 each, and I got these for 45. I kind of regret not personalising them. I feel like the straps look a bit bare, but I do love the plain latex straps on them. I wish more companies would kind of bring that into their gloves. But yeah, all in all, I probably will end up getting more pairs of these, but a bit disappointing the lack of changes in them each year. I'd like the designs are very basic. It's time to maybe update the glove for now. But as for performance, I can't really argue with it in comparison to the retail versions. Promo ones are definitely better. These are knackered now. I give these to my brother to use when he's playing five-a-side, but they were the retail version was still good, but I just found the weight that they didn't really compare to the promo one, and that's ultimately what matters, really. Moving on, next I have 4 pairs of New Balances here. I actually have about 14 or 15 pairs of this particular version of New Balances. These are some of my favourite gloves ever, mainly because I just played well in them. It's hard to kind of change out of a glove when you're in form in it. I've worn these ones. I was a bit skeptical about them at the start because I just thought they were very, very light. They offered little protection, but once I got used to them, the latex was just phenomenal on the gloves. But one thing I will say about New Balance gloves is there can be kind of variations from glove to glove. Like this, the yellow one I'm bringing to the shot here, and this white one are supposed to be the same glove, but the backhand material is slightly different from both gloves. It doesn't really come across. This seems like more of a comfier latex, whereas this one seems a little bit cheaper. It's not really anything like 10%, but the main thing that annoys me with them is the strap length. Maybe this will show it here now. You can see this strap here, it ties around the other side of your wrist. This one here, it ties on the back end of your wrist. When you're moving your wrists like this, I just find this one very restrictive. I do have some of these plain latex straps ready to go on to this one. These ones are actually brand new. I've worn these ones here once, so I'm going to have that changed. That should hopefully fix that problem, but it is a little bit frustrating, not knowing exactly what you're going to get each time you buy the supposedly the same pair of gloves. And kind of on that note, this is the updated range. I suppose it's not really the Casper Schmeichel glove anymore, but that's essentially what it is since he moved to Adidas. On the gloves being different, I don't know, can you see it already there? These are supposed to be the same latex. I don't know, be your own judge now. They both say the 3.5mm graphite, but these are both brand new, not pre-washed, not used. And this is there's a bit of a shadow on the camera there now, I can see, but you can see the kind of graphite material there and the graphite material there. doesn't seem to be exactly the same. Maybe the performance will be the same, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem to add up to me there, the look of it. But in terms of performance, this latex was probably the best I've ever had in the wet. You know, if I could get my hands on more of this glove, I don't think I ever would change, but I'm finding it hard now. I'm not a big fan of the colours of the yellow or the orange there. They're kind of matching the New Balance boots, I know, but they don't really go in terms of gloves. I don't think if they bring out a more classic style like this one, I'll definitely be all over it. If anyone does have more of those, I'll happily take those off you in a size 9, but hopefully they do come out more kind of a classic colours. But in terms of performance, absolutely phenomenal. I was kind of keen to move into a graphite glove as quickly as I could. I actually got my hands on a couple of pairs of Puma SMUs from their professional keepers, and maybe 80% of the ones I got were all in a graphite latex. So I was kind of trying to get my hands on a few pairs my own size if I could to move into it, and I can see why so many keepers in professional leagues do use it. So hopefully more brands start to bring out more graphite latex. Moving on, my only pair of Elites here. These actually haven't been used. I have used a similar pair in a hybrid cut, and the latex was phenomenal on them. I'm waiting to kind of get these into action now. In the next couple of weeks I should get around to wearing them. I've been kind of looking at getting these for a while, mainly because I like the look of them, but I couldn't justify it on the price. They are quite pricey gloves for something I haven't had a whole lot of exposure to. But around Christmas time, a website in Holland, Pro Keepers Line, had a very good sale on, and I ended up getting them for maybe €60. I can't actually remember, but I remember it being very good. I just love the colour, you know, and the negative cut on them. Everything about them I seem to like. They do have removable spines. I have them out except for this finger here. Just for now, I'm not a huge fan of spines, but it is a decent option to have if you are someone who likes them. One thing I will say, they're not the snuggest of gloves. I am a size 9, bought them in a size 9, but they do fit, but there is a little bit of room, say, on the backhand of them. They're not like, say, this Adidas gloves here, that's kind of a skin tight feel, but I do really like them. I hope the performance lines up with the other Elite gloves that I've used in the past, so hopefully I can maybe give them a run out in the next week or two. Next range of gloves I have 3 pairs of K's or K's. I still don't know what they're called, even though I've had about 20 pairs of them. I really should look into that, but really good gloves. I've used 2 of these 3, as you can see here, and these ones still have plastic on them. Really like these gloves. I suppose for a budget brand, you can't, I don't know, could you call them a budget brand anymore, but you can't really argue with the quality of them. They're absolutely bang on for what you're paying for. The back end is quite a tough material as well, so it is something that will last a long time if you're playing on like 3G pitches or whatever, which is typically what I use them on. I didn't wear these in games, I wore them a lot in training. I was taking off the plastic that comes on them and get my big nick as well here. I don't know how well that's coming across in the camera, but it's driving me insane since I took it off. But anyway, can't argue with the performance of them. This is the contact latex, and this one was a new one that they brought out, which is latex with 17% infused graphite. And as I said, I was using the New Balances there, which were graphite latex, and I was looking to move on to a different glove if I could get it that matched the performance. And I wouldn't say it matched the performance, but it was definitely good. I would buy another pair of them, and size 9 was perfect. I had no real flaws with them, to tell you the truth. I would definitely recommend getting them, especially for the price, but they didn't quite match the performance of my New Balances. But if you are looking at getting them, I definitely would recommend them. I love the look of them as well, absolutely quality, and they're bringing out the Calier range of McGregors gloves, something I'll definitely be giving a whirl as well. Next on the list, I have a couple of pairs of Precisions, probably one of the more underrated brands in goalkeeping. I have these ones here, the negative quartzite latex, and these ones here, the roll finger Gigas. These are, say, Tom Heaton's gloves. They're called the Heat On, so obviously Tom Heaton. I got these for €20. I don't particularly like roll finger gloves, but I just saw them there in an actual shop for €20. I couldn't leave them there. Latex, one of the best I've ever seen. I've used this 10-15 times now, and the latex is just phenomenal on them. I almost started wearing roll fingers nearly just because of these. They were that good. I was really surprised. I got them just for a pair of gloves that I could have thrown in the bag and wear in warm ups or whatever when I didn't want to destroy my match gloves, and they have just been sensational. They have this glove in a negative with Giga Latex. I'll definitely be getting it. It was that good. It really impressed me. Only thing about it is I really hate the straps on them again. I think I've said this about nearly every precision glove I've owned. I hate the straps, it's just so cheap looking. So hopefully in the future they will fix that, but I doubt it given the history of the last few years. But yeah, if you're a new keeper and you don't really know what gloves to buy, you can't really go wrong with getting a pair of top end precisions. All the latex I find are very consistent. Same with this quartzite latex. Looks similar to a Giga latex or to a graphite latex, excuse me, but I just find that graphite is a bit superior still. Maybe it's just cheaper to make, that's why a lot of companies seem to be using it, but the longevity of them was phenomenal. I can't tell you how many times I used these. I retired them 3 or 4 times and I always ended up going back to them. The performance is still there. I could have worn these maybe 40 times, I'd say, by the time I got rid of them, and I typically wear my gloves for maybe 4 or 5 games and then move on. So if you are looking for a pair of gloves that'll do you for a long time, I can't recommend these highly enough. I can't remember how much I paid for these, but whatever it was definitely worth it. And next on the list then, I have 2 pairs of Cells negative cuts. I've actually had maybe 10 or 12 pairs of these. I just got good deals on them really, so I kept buying them. I like Cells. I probably don't love them. I think the hype around them is a bit high. They're advertised as a wet weather glove. They're the best in the business supposedly about it, and they're definitely good, but I don't know, is it largely just hype? Are they actually amazing? I've worn this glove twice and it hasn't even been that wet, and I just did not find the performance to be absolutely amazing. It's definitely good. I paid about €35 for both of these. Can't complain with that. I that's why I bought so many of them really. But I don't know, is the performance just a little bit overstated about them? But they are definitely nice, but I don't think they're necessarily the best gloves ever. I didn't find my confidence in the handling in them to be as amazing as they're kind of advertised to be. Maybe that's just a personal preference now. Some people do love them obviously, and I've bought enough of them, so maybe they obviously do perform some bit well. But I just kind of find maybe I'm kind of being bought into the marketing side of it more than I'd like to. But I do love the look of this one. Not so sure about the colours on this one, but the technology in the glove, there's an awful lot of gimmicks in the kind of industry at the minute, but these do back up. Like, it's actually snowing and sleety all the time in Ireland at the minute, and the Outlast technology in this definitely does work. I have noticed my hands being quite warm, and compared them to the Adidas gloves I have down here, I'd probably reach for these just because of that. It definitely does work, and I do like the D30 material here in the back end for punching. Probably doesn't make that much of a difference. I just find, like, psychologically almost, that it's there for you. You do feel like it makes a difference. But the latex itself, I don't know, is it just a little bit overstated, the performance in it? I found, like, I've only worn these gloves maybe 5 or 6 times and they're just dead now, and I look after my gloves very well. So I'm just not sure, are they worth the money full price right now? I saw the price of the new range and I couldn't justify getting them at the minute. Pro Rate often do good sales, to be fair, on them. But I just don't know, would I buy them at full price again? I don't think I would, but they are definitely some people's cup of tea. Maybe it's just myself. And then moving on, lastly, I have 7 pairs, I think, of Adidas Predator Pros. I have a lot more of them as well, used. So I have a couple of different variations of them here. These are all the standard retail EvoZone techs. I got ridiculous deals on these. I think I have 22 pairs of them, and I got them all for under €15. So, how do you argue with that? I actually do have most of these for sale as well. The ones I'd like to talk about probably the most are these two. These are all essentially the same glove, just in different colours. So I have these ones. I love the colourway on these. One thing I don't like about any of them is the stretch strap, and I do have several of these latex straps ready to go. I do have another pair of the new latex ones, the URG 1.0s, and I haven't worn them yet. I'm just dying for a game to come so I can wear them. I'm going to do an individual review on these, so if you do have any questions, send them to me before I do it. But the latex just looks ridiculous. So like if you drop a ball wearing these, it's not their fault, I would say. Obviously I'd have to see how they hold up in the wet, but for the time being they do seem amazing. The EvoZone Tex then, it was a glove that when I got out of the packet and did this, I went whoa, but didn't really back it up. I had maybe one game in them and I thought, geez, these are good, these could be a long-term glove for me. Then after that I found once they got any bit wet that it just wasn't there, the kind of confidence in them. I just didn't have it. I found the gloves a bit too light, and I really don't like the wraparound strap on them. They're definitely good. I see a lot of people are wearing them, but I just didn't find for the price the longevity was there with them. Whereas these, like, the performance is outstanding. I know the longevity isn't going to be there, and I'm okay with that, but they're a better glove as well. So ignoring the latex, the backhand is thicker, so I'm not sure what you call these kind of rubber modules here. They probably show up better here in the red. Whatever you call these, the rubber things on the backhand here, they're better on this just because they're actually thicker. The glove feels more like a latex glove here. I don't really know why. Maybe it's just a feel kind of thing, but this one is definitely more of a traditional kind of glove than this. And I could live with this stretch strap, not this one. Looks the same here, but it just feels a lot better. And initially when I got them, I actually thought that the pull tab was ripped here, but I actually don't think it is. I think it could just be an upgrade on this pull tab, because there was some people had some issues with, say, scuffing the other glove here by putting it on. But I'm really looking forward to wearing these. I know I'm probably only get like 2 games out of them. I paid €60 for them, so I'm going to try, if I can, after the guy I got them off, get a few more pairs. But really good. In fairness, so far my impressions of these, hopefully they stick up in the wet. Taking the plastic off is quite difficult again. I'm after nicking those, so maybe I need to find a better method to do that. But hopefully more of the URG 1.0 latex come out. I will be trying the hybrid versions of them as well in the 2.0s just to see what that's like, but wasn't overly impressed by the EvoZone's tech. I'm kind of glad they've upgraded it to have the option if you do want to spend the more money to get it. But anyway, I'll put up an individual review of these once I've eventually got to wearing them, hopefully Saturday now, which is 4 days away. I'm even debating giving them a pre-wash. I'm not actually sure what to do with these at the minute, but that's all for now. Anyway, any questions, throw them down in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. Cheers.